Recording in progress.
Mr. Roberts is playing. Quitting, I think we are ready.
Okay. Hold on, Wilmer, still connecting.
Okay, I'm here now.
We can't see him.
Yeah, we need to see you. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're calling the HATC Foundation Board to order. I want to thank all the commissioners for their time and presence into this business. And could I get a roll call?
Absolutely. President Jan Wenning,
Present.
Vice President Jimmy Tabor,
Present.
Director Rebecca Weber, Director Wilmer Roberts,
Here.
Director Cheryl Brown.
Present.
You have a quorum.
And going into item 2, is there anyone here from the public who wishes to make a comment or a statement concerning the HATC Foundation today? Do we have anybody signed up?
Oh, no, sorry. We don't have anyone signed up. Sorry about that.
No problem. There appears to be no one present who wishes to speak, so we're going to proceed to consent agenda, item 3. And that is approval of the minutes from our last meeting. That was on January 5th, 2023. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
If there's anyone second. And is there any question that the members here today want to have about the minutes? Hearing no one, let's vote. All those in favor of approval of the minutes?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. The minutes are approved. Moving on to the item number 4, discussion items. This is the introduction of Big Austin representatives, and for that I turn to staff Steve Figlar, who's been working on this item for some time and can help us all meet new collaborators.
Thank you, President Winnick. Yes, we have with us today Stephanie Douglas. Stephanie, do you want to come up front here on the front row? Stephanie is, I believe, the Chief Operating Officer.
I am.
With Big Austin, who, as you know, we have contracted with since July to provide our frontline supportive services to both our residents and our voucher holders. And Stephanie is here to, if you look at the agenda, she should be able to cover all 3 of these items. Ma'am, can you pull the agenda? Okay.
Oh, back up.
And we also have Stacy Roan, just in time, also from Big Austin. And but the 3 discussion items, item number 4 should be able to be covered by Big Austin right now. So I'm going to turn it over to them and let them introduce themselves, introduce their organization and what they are currently doing for HATC, the HATC Foundation, and their plans for the future. So turn it over to you guys.
Great.
Stephanie,
So,
prior to you speaking, we just need to acknowledge that our 5th board member has arrived and the time. What results?
Talking about it. 9:08, and we've just been joined by Director Rebecca Weber for this meeting of the HATC Foundation.
Can you ask Dan to speak up? We can barely hear.
Okay, how about now, Mr. Roberts?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
As Steve said, I'm Stephanie Douglas, and I am the COO as well as the program director for Big Austin. And I want to kind of just give you some background on Big Austin and how we moved into this space and go from there. Big Austin came out of the city of Austin almost 30 years ago. We came out to be a CDFI and to do lending for the underserved community. And in that, fast forward now, what we realized is that how can we have entrepreneurs and do lending if they don't have the basic understanding of they can do great in their kitchens of baking cupcakes, or they can do great in terms of barbershop, but if they don't have the education parameters, if they don't have the experience of what it's like to be an employee or to manage or budgeting. So we decided to do two routes. We did the entrepreneurship as well as workforce development. In that, we also became part of HATC asked us to do Jobs Plus training. That was our first foray into it. Then we were designated by HUD as an Envision Center to provide those type of services in Austin and the surrounding areas. We then have launched into, we have satellite offices with other communities to provide our services at those multifamily services. So yeah, multifamily services. Sure.
And so basically what our services were designated for in the beginning was to assist the community along the East 11th Street corridor with helping them save their businesses, helping them with jobs. And as we've gone along, things have kind of changed and we've become more holistic. Holistic in the fact that we realized that, for instance, if someone came to us with entrepreneurship requests or skills and they wanted to go through a training class, well, they didn't have a daycare necessarily for their child. So they would bring their child to our offices and we would end up being the daycare. And so they might need, they may be homeless at that time. And so we help them find a location or someplace to live. And so we just kind of started evolving to understand that, you know, it's easy for us to provide specific services and for, say, some larger entity to come down and say, okay, we want you to be a nonprofit to serve in these particular areas. We sort of realizing you can tell us what needs to be done, but when we're on the ground with these people every day, we know what they need. And so we have evolved as a result to be able to provide a range of services that the foundation is doing at this point. And those range of services include, of course, our core, which is entrepreneurship, job skills training. We're doing daycare. Actually, for this particular program, we're partnering with Texas A&M University to do in-home childcare training. We are working with St. John's Community Faith Garden to do health and wellness, and the University of Texas Nursing System as well. Teaching individuals how to do gardening so they can do basic herbs and foods for self-sustainability. And a number of the housing authority Travis County Housing Authority residents have just been amazingly involved, very interactive, and they seem to be enjoying those types of services. They're helping us evolve even more. We have actually also transitioned into affordable housing now, not just seeking affordable housing, but building affordable housing. And as Stephanie indicated a moment ago, we are partnering with some of the developers who are doing housing for affordable housing and multifamily housing for Travis County. We're serving as a service provider for them as well. Some of the new projects that are coming up off of Daffin Lane, out in Wild Horse. So we are starting, or not just starting, we have been in this business for a very long time. We understand the clients. We are very, very hands-on. And we feel like, our numbers, from the beginning will give you some identity of what we have done and how we have gotten into the space with your clients. Some of our assessments that we have done have just been really good. And so they help us to, work with the foundation, but they also help our organization build stronger resources for these individuals. So I think that gives you kind of a general idea of what we do.
And how we developed our program, this specific HUD had done a study And I would love to share that with you if you'd like. I can email it to you. I think it was a nationwide. They took two groups, one that had the opportunity to participate in the escrow savings, and then the other group that did not have the opportunity, which of course, we would fall into. And then they compared those two groups in terms of self-sufficiency. Did they obtain jobs? What was the average salary increase, head of households, what changed? How many classes did they take? How many touches did it take for them to make these changes? So in the beginning, I just want to set some expectations. We're into the 90 days just now starting. This is a program that is going to be slow going. However, have already seen some really good outcomes and people that have participated not once or twice, but took the series of financial literacy, meaning credit, budgeting, and then credit budgeting. And the first one was
So
this is Chezzy,
So, and
and she is the case manager / program coordinator for this
she's
program.
really hands-on in the office until 9 and 10 o'clock every night, reaching out to the client base. And when she's telling you about what they took in the first couple of classes, we have a good volunteer base and partnerships. And so we partnered with First United Bank on that training, the financial literacy program, and they provided lunches, and they, really get in hands on and work with the clients. We were actually with the bank yesterday, and they said they have just been really impressed with the number of residents that have come in and opened bank accounts, and they said that it has been, a
The
real
second
surprise.
chance checking so
Yes.
that they didn't have to.
They don't have to have the background checks, the credit checks, as far as they would help them set those up. So now they could, have direct deposit for their checks and different things like that. So that program actually, we were really surprised the turnout. We expect for a particular class, we always only expect about 15% participation. So we'll have, in some cases, she'll have like 44 people sign up and only 15% show up. In this case, we had about 50% consistently show up. So it's been really good. So I don't know if they just really been seeking these types of services, or, it's a good time for them. But, yeah. Chezzy, don't be shy. You can
I know.
yeah.
Hi, I'm Chessie Floyd, and I am the self-sufficiency coordinator and case manager for Big Austin. And that's who I am. Thank you.
So do you want to talk about numbers or you not?
Do you have our reports correct? I'd love to answer questions if you want to talk about specifics. We kind of gave you the background as to who we are and what we're doing. And I'm sorry. Well, this first page was, I don't know how you have it laid out, but okay.
I'm sorry, what are we putting up on?
I will have to provide those.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just got them this week, so.
Summarize them then?
Yeah, we did a survey, and I think there's only one struggle, I think, is the voucher holders. It's hard to get them to, they want to have community, but it's so dispersed to create that community for them. Also, we're also adjusting times of workshops and meetups because some are working nights, some are working. And so we're trying to figure out what works best. And so that response to get, our initial was about 40 respondents in terms of, which we kept hitting them over, what do they need? What are their wants? What do they feel like they're not getting? What can we do to help facilitate that?
And we'll have ongoing classes. So this is not where we're going to just offer classes every other day or so, or maybe once a month. We have ongoing courses, ongoing communication and marketing to them, direct email. A lot of them are coming through word of mouth. They'll go back and tell other individuals and then they come. We have programmings on all different levels for children, for adults. One of the most unique programs that we're getting ready to offer them, and these classes are all free. They do not have to pay. We provide, incentives, foods. We've had giveaways that we supply as well. But our next course, which is going to be really unique, is, we are teaching coding. And we're doing that so that these individuals, both youth and adult, and actually we had a bigger response from adults than we had for youth, which is great. How many individuals do we have already?
For adults, it was, out of 40, it was basically 15 adults.
That are going to take the first class, because it's only so many that we can do in each one. Our coding class is going to be taught by a University of Texas professor who teaches coding at UT, and he is highly sought after nationwide to teach this type of class. And so we're really excited about that, because we feel that we want these individuals to be able to go to the next level in their economic sustainability. And we believe coding is going to be a true opportunity for that. So we're going to do this, the adult class first, and then the youth class after that. And we're really excited about that course. Because most University of Texas students are fighting to get in that class. It's very, very expensive, but he's
actually created that program at UT. He came from Spring ISD, if you're familiar with that, and what a tough independent school district that is. And so he fits perfectly with the group that we are working with in terms of your residents.
We're really excited about that next phase.
Anything more you want to present before we turn to questions?
I don't.
So I turn to my colleagues to see if there's any questions for Austin on the services they'll be providing and the work.
I don't have any questions, but I do have a comment. Big Austin has been around for a long time. And I am delighted that HATC is partnering with Big Austin. I think that the work that you all have done speaks for itself. And for us to share in that, hats off to both of us. I think that it's a great partnership, and I look forward to what this relationship is going to bring. And hopefully, it's an equal balance,
Yes.
right? That we get something from you, and you get something from us. So I'm delighted.
No,
Thank you guys, and thanks for your patience. I know last month you all came,
Yeah.
and we, weren't able to meet with you guys, but thank you for coming back and sticking with it and staying the course. And I look forward to the work on relationship.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you very much.
It is very, very rewarding for us. It is a market that we really wanted to have some impact on. And so we hope that the next time we come, we can really give you some impact numbers. 3 months in, we've got numbers that we know we've done training, but we want to say what that success rate is going to be the next time. So we're excited. And we'll be meeting with HUD later this month in Washington, and we're going to talk about this partnership as well.
And we welcome any input from you,
Recommendations.
recommendations from you. If you'd like to come visit us, we would love to have you.
And visit a class when
Yes.
when they have one.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Any other comments or questions? Yes.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I'm just wondering, when should we invite you back to tell us where you're at with it? And my other question is just if you could tell me a little bit more about getting licensed or certified as an envision center. What does that take?
So, okay, so one, I think Steve kind of tells us when we can.
Yeah, this is really the first time they've been. We haven't really gotten that far, but we will absolutely invite them back as needed, and I will also,
Probably first of the year, maybe.
yeah,
Maybe,
Does that make sense?
Yes, that would be it.
and I will add that they send me reports. I will be populating Boardable, the foundation documents, to look for everything there, and they just sent me some great info a day or two ago, and so I'm going to get that uploaded today. So everything will be there for you guys.
Okay. And then our designation as a HUD Envision Center, that actually was done under the previous administration. The secretary came down,
Ben Carson.
met at our offices and brought in a lot of leadership from around the region, based on our past history of just working with clients, helping them to be self-sustainable. We had worked with a number of different organizations, but our overall long-term strategic plan is what what HUD wanted to do throughout the country as far as establishing different type of multifamily residential settings where they also had resources on site to provide job training for individuals to scale up. And also working with the tech industry, he felt that this was a great area to do that in. And so that's how we got the designation at that time. We still work with HUD. They don't necessarily do the Envision Center program because you know how every administration is, but we still have a very strong relationship with HUD to continue the same type of services and moving these types of programs forward.
And to the point of Director Weber about when it's time to return, of course, it's a two-way flow. So if you've got some exciting news or even some concerns or something you want to board, please reach out to Steve and we'll John.
Okay.
And I do have just a couple things I want to check in with you guys about. On the HUD study, you offered the copies of
Yes.
the study. Am I the only one or would other directors like a copy of that study circulated?
I think it'd be excellent.
Okay, that'd be awesome. And the assessments, any early digestion of the data telling you what direction to go on your assessments? I think it's just ramping up, but I'm eager to hear.
Yes, so we have 35 response as far as our assessments. They've done them online or in person. And I want to say the major things that they've been asking about is credit, rental assistance, and financial literacy programs or whatever we have to help them become more self-sufficient. I know another thing that they wanted to be able to do was to one day have their own home or home ownership. And how does that work? And then another concern was transportation, which some of the classes or programs that we'll be offering later on will provide transportation. And yeah, to try to get them out here to build community. They want to be able to socialize. They want to be able to have that and going out into the community and let them know who we are and building that presence and that relationship with them is really one of the major things.
And you want to tell them about the last one, the one you did at St. John's just recently?
Yes, we did a gardening with St. John's Faith Community Center. And we had 30 that signed up, and out of it was 20 people that showed up. And it's only been 2, it's a series of 6, but I've only been to the 2 so far. It's ongoing. The end is actually in October. So every Saturday we meet up, and we had a giveaway there, but I've seen the turnout and I've seen how excited, they are to be out in the neighborhood, and it's actually been really good.
That's really exciting news, and I appreciate so much your methodology that you start by listening, having a period of assessment, and we're eager to hear and see that data. So thank you so much. And in terms of things we can offer you, has anybody given you a copy of the strategic plan for 2022 to 2025? We just want to make sure you know what our missions are, and there is a section on the HATC Foundation on page 7. So Steve, maybe you can make sure they have that tool.
And it's on the website.
Okay.
And we've been through the
There
website.
you go.
Yeah.
Website, okay.
And this is good because we don't do any advertising, we don't do any marketing. All of our clients come to us through word of mouth. And so this has really helped though with being able to send out communications and get information back, from clients. And even though, we probably had 35 completed assessments, but there've been a lot more feedback outside of just those assessments. So we've had a big, response. I think that's
Yes.
For your listening, this period of listening is so essential. And I really noticed it and appreciate it. Just to quickly touch on the 3-pronged strategy for HATC Foundation as listed in the strategy for the next 3 years. It is definitely the first is self-sufficiency. You just hit us with your enthusiasm, which is contagious, and I love what you're doing on that. Youth development is the second prong, and family enrichment, and it's spelled out with a few more details. But really look forward to the growth into all of these areas, and thank you
We do
so
too.
much.
Yeah, we
Like I
are.
said,
We-
your enthusiasm. is-
Thank you.
been
Yeah,
great
this
seeing
is
you.
what we do every day and
Yeah.
we enjoy it. And I think this partnership makes it even better for us.
Anything else? Right, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Okay.
And with that, we can move on to action item 5. And that is subset A resolution is included in this action item. I just wanted to explain that in the 9 months since our last meeting here for the HATC Foundation, I did reach out to both Steve Higler and Patrick Howard, asking them how to apply the bylaws and make sure that I understood as your chairwoman the best way to proceed on 2 areas. One was how and when to call meetings, and the other was the role of myself as the chairwoman. And so there was a perceived variance between existing and working practice, which is going very, very well and always has, and a couple language issues within the bylaws themselves. And thank you, Patrick, for involving with our council. He sent the email that was provided to all staff last month, I'm trying to get there. And it's a very simple adjustment that's being proposed in the bylaws.
Pull that up,
Yeah, and I can point them out to you.
couple of words.
Let's go to the revised one with the red lines, if you can pull that one up. On page 2 of the revised bylaws. The first one that's loaded is the old. And it's the very last, that's the red line. That's after the resolution. There you go. And on page 2 of this version. How to call a meeting. Article 4 has the first red line.
So this is Article 4.
Yeah, I guess you're just not in the red line version.
Oh, we don't have the red line, we're gonna
Keep it down.
it is-
Do you know what page it's on?
Page 2, in my packet, it's page 26 of 30.
Oh, 26.
If that.
26.
There.
Got it.
Okay.
There you go.
Here it goes.
Okay, so here we have, I'll just let y'all read it. It is such a simple change. How to call regular meetings of the board. Previous language included there was be a resolution of the board. The corporation executive director, I'm sorry, my vision is. And we're just, redlining out the resolution of the board of directors. Bringing it to the executive director, that hasn't very yet, Director Weber.
Well, I think this is a great change. We shouldn't have to have a resolution. We should just be able to call the meeting via our chair. I do want to point out that there's a typo. The board of directors, right in the paragraph right above, the board of directors shall consist of the members of the members of.
Oh, yes, I do look at, reference. So too many of the members.
If we could just redline that too, or may I make a motion?
Oh, yeah, I see the members of the members,
If y'all will make a motion to amend that, I'll fix it and resend
as amended.
Okay, shall we have a motion then to amend?
Yeah, I would,
Section 1, final paragraph, the board of directors shall consist of,
well, I would move to adopt all the amendments here.
shall we complete the last one? There's
And
one
then
more.
I'll make mine.
There's one more. Thank y'all. Moving on to page 4 of the document. I don't know what it is in the sequence of attachments. There you go. The role of the president. The president shall be the principal executive officer of the corporation and shall in general supervise and control all of the business and affairs of the corporation. And control all the business and affairs of the corporations has been struck. And the red line includes now, and may delegate any duties that he or she may determine to other officers of the corporation or to the officers or staff of the Housing Authority of Travis County, Texas, which is in alignment with current practice. So those are the amendments that we're proposing. Is there any discussion on those changes that we want to make? And let me recognize Councilor Cliff Blunt for his incredible accessibility on this relatively minor issue, but I really appreciated what he said that, well, this is my job. You know, we want the bylaws and the constructs and everything that's laid out to the public to align exactly with practice. So it was a breath of fresh air to have access to council and to have this happen so seamlessly. Thank you all. Can I call for a motion to accept the resolution and the changes as recommended? So moved. And do I have a second?
Second.
And is there any discussion further?
Yes, may I also make a motion that we delete the members of.
And do we have that in the record then for our council, Mr. Copeland to follow up? The motion carries and the bylaws are amended. Moving back to the agenda, we're on item 6, new or unfinished business. Does anyone, I have none known to me, that any other members before have anything to do to that? And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So
Second. Second. Thank you all.
Yeah.
And that was a great step forward for the foundation. I look forward to our next meeting whenever you want to call it.
Thank you. So we're gonna go down to the Facilities Corporation. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.